Hey, Mr. Harridan here. We're going to go over the periodic challenge notes. So this is going over Group 1, Group 2, Group 17, and Group 18, the 4 groups that you need to know. So Group 1, I'm an old chemist, so I'm going to refer to this as 1A. Those are our alkali metals. Okay? Which would include, groups go down, so this would include lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. Okay, so these are metals. These would be solid at room temperature. Malleable means to be beaten into sheets, and ductile means to be able to made into wires, so that you can do with metal, so this is a yes. And metals conduct electricity, yes. Okay, Group 2A, which would include beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. This is the alkali earth metals. These are also metals, because it says it in the group name. These are solid. Malleable and ductile, yes. Metals are malleable and ductile, and they do conduct electricity, yes. Okay. Moving on to Group 17. 17 would include fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine. I would refer to this group as 7A, because I am using these group numbers right here that are Roman numerals, because that's what us old school chemists do. These are halogens. These are nonmetals. Okay. All phases exist, meaning that some of these elements are solids, and some of them are gases, and some of them are liquids. Malleable and ductile. Nonmetals are not malleable and ductile, and they do not conduct electricity, so that would be a no there too as well. Okay, moving on to Group 18, which includes helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. I would refer to this group as 8A. These are the noble gases. Okay, these are nonmetals. These are gases at room temperature. They are not malleable or ductile because they're nonmetals, and they do not conduct electricity because they are nonmetals. Okay. So that gives you an idea of the 4 main groups that we talk about in chemistry. There are more elements than that, but most of the time we're going to talk about these 4 main groups. Now we are going to talk about the reactivity of these groups. So starting off with Group 1A. Okay. Physical properties of Group 1A. These are silver or white. They are soft. They are so soft you actually can cut them with a butter knife, believe it or not. They have luster, which means they are shiny. And they have high melting and boiling points. Okay. What's important about Group 1A is remembering that it is very highly reactive. This group contains the most reactive metals of all the groups, and it increases as you go down a group. Okay. So we're talking about lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. Of these elements, francium is the most reactive, okay, according to the trends. All these elements react with the air, okay, so that's why they are stored in oil to prevent them from reacting with the air. All these elements also explode when they come in contact with water. So if I was to pretend that this pen right here, you see this pen right here? Let's pretend that's a piece of sodium, right? See, we're pretending that's a piece of sodium. What would happen is, let's pretend I touch it. Here I go to touch it. And the minute I touch it, the water in my hands, when it comes in contact with the sodium, causes an explosion and probably blows my hand back this way. And if I'm lucky, I get to keep my hand and my arm. Okay, so it's good fun there. Okay. Group 2A. Properties of Group 2A, which are the alkaline earth metals. Remember that these are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. These have gray luster in color. They are very hard and brittle. These also have high melting and boiling points. Okay. Erase the paper so people can see what you're writing, Mr. Harridan. Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay. These are reactive. Not as reactive as Group 1A, but they still react pretty well. These also increase in reactivity as you go down the group. So the most reactive metals are in the lower left-hand corner of the periodic table. Okay, they're down here by francium. Okay, those are the most reactive metals. Okay, going on to Group 7A, the halogens. This is another very important group. Okay, these actually have pale colors. Okay. And remember, the elements I am talking about here are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and azantine. I believe fluorine has a nice little yellow gas color. Chlorine is a green gas at room temperature. Bromine is an orange liquid at room temperature. And iodine is a purple solid. Okay, so they have pale colors. These have low melting and boiling points. Okay. Group 17, these are highly reactive. So there are two groups that are highly reactive. Okay, and we'll go over them later and how they're highly reactive. Group 1A is the most highly reactive metals, and Group 7A is the most highly reactive nonmetals. Reactivity decreases moving down a group. Meaning fluorine is the most reactive nonmetal. Okay. Francium is the most reactive metal. Fluorine is the most reactive nonmetal. Okay. On to group 18. Oh, one more point here about these halogens, right? Especially the gases. If you see any gases, if you see a green gas, like a yellow gas, orange gas, I don't care what color the gas is, run. Because you are not supposed to be able to see gases, okay? So if you see some colored gas floating towards you, that's not good. Run away, because it's going to attack your esophagus and your inner tissue, and your inner soft tissues in your esophagus and your inner nose, and it will not be good for you. Okay. Okay. Group 18, which I refer to as 8A. These are colorless. Okay. These have low melting and boiling points. These are considered inert. They are non-reactive. Remember, we are talking about the elements of group 8A here. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon, okay? They give helium balloons to little kids. Do you know why? Because it's not dangerous. Because helium doesn't react with anything. So even if the helium escapes, it doesn't hurt anybody. Okay. Okay. Elements in the same group or family. Remember, groups go down. These have similar chemical and physical properties. Okay. So for instance, halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine, they're all highly reactive because they're in the same group, because they have the same number of valence electrons. These are the most important electrons in chemistry because these are the outermost electrons, which are involved in chemical bonding. Okay, you guys are champions. The legend is out. Let's hope I recorded the video with sound this time.